Welcome to Emergency Management Associates. This is Ron Tyler. I am coming to you from the Area Command 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. We want to talk to you a little bit about Iceland. Iceland is not erupting. I want to make that point clear. At present time, because of the earthquakes yesterday and last night, they evacuated the Blue Lagoon, which is a spa just north and west of the Svartsengi power plant. They evacuated the Blue Lagoon, so there's nobody in that area. There may be workmen over at the Svartsengi power plant, but that's all. I understand from various sources that some residents of Grindavik have been allowed to come back into Grindavik during the day and during the day only for obvious reasons. They don't want people in Grindavik at night in case there was an eruptive warning that they would only have up to like 30, 40 minutes to get people out of Grindavik. They don't want to do that. So Grindavik at present time, they're only allowing residents there during the day at their own homes. Now, I believe there's a possibility that some businesses in and around Grindavik are open. It's unclear right now whether the fish market is open there. Yes, there have been boats going out to sea and going over to Reykjavik to unload their fish, but they may be unloading fish over in Grindavik as well. It's unclear whether they're doing that or not. We don't have any video or anything to prove otherwise, but they are allowing some residents into Grindavik during the day. Now, there was a lot of earthquakes yesterday and through last night. They did evacuate the Blue Lagoon Spa, so it is empty. Now, I want to tell you what's going on now. The Met Office in Iceland has issued an update as of about an hour ago. The earthquakes over in Grindavik around the Svartsengi power plant and that entire area to the northwest have stopped. All of the earthquakes have stopped right now. Now, I want to explain why. Okay? The earthquakes have stopped because the ground movement, okay? We talked about that dike, much like I'm showing you here with my hands. Magma forced its way up through holes in the earth, holes in the crust. Magma tends to take the path of least resistance. The magma flow has stopped. Now, how do they measure it? They have GPS stations all over that area. A lot of GPS stations literally all over the area. Those GPS stations relay information about Earth movement. That Earth movement literally is stopped, at least for right now. Now, this does not mean that it won't start up again. But for right now, the magma intrusion in the dikes have stopped. The deformation over at Svartsengi, we told you that there was uplift in magma because of the magma down beneath the surface. The great big huge magma chamber that was down there was inflating, okay? The magma was going into that great big huge magma chamber. Now they believe some of that magma has gone north, okay? So it's relieved some of the pressure in that magma reservoir. So for right now, the magma has stopped flowing and raising that ground upwards. The uplift has stopped. The ground deformation has stopped. The earthquakes all over that area going north away from the Svartsengi power plant have stopped as well. Now it can resume at any time, okay? But I wanted to give you that information. There is no eruption at Iceland right now. The scientists at the Met Office don't believe there will be an eruption immediately, meaning within the next 8 to 10 to 15 hours, maybe even longer. There could be still an eruption within the next 24 to 48 hours. But for right now, the eruptive forces, the magma uplift, the magma intrusion has stopped. We will see what happens, okay? We're going to see what happens. Does anybody have any questions? I wanted to give you this news because a lot of people were asking me and sending me messages and stuff. I wanted to make sure we had the information for you. Does anybody have any questions for me right now? Highway Runner is here. Good afternoon, little lady. Good to see you. Hurricane Heather is here. It's good to see Hurricane here. Demon Catman is here. Thank you so much for being here, guys. We do appreciate our mods. We've had some issues with trolls as of late, and you mods have done an outstanding job, and I want to tell you how much I love and appreciate you. Isaiah's Granny is here. Welcome, Isaiah's Granny. It's good to see you. Donna Howard is here. Donna Howard is another dear friend of our EMA family and one of my personal friends. Thank you so much. Adventurous Mike saying, quick rundown. There is no eruption right now at Iceland. That's a quick rundown. The earthquakes have stopped. The Met Office in Iceland has issued an advisory as of about an hour ago, and things have stopped there. Okay? That's the long and the short of it. Yes, Hurricane Heather has been missed. We really love and appreciate Hurricane Heather. She's awesome. Anybody have any questions for me? Oklahoma is still moving, okay? That movement is basically because of the fracking operations there. That's mostly what has been going on. I'm not going to lie to you. It's mostly what's been going on. We honestly don't believe that it's going to ever stop. Oklahoma has over 586,000 pumps and jacks. Okay? That's going to be an ongoing problem for quite a while. Okay? What about the wildfires? The wildfires in Texas are still moving. The winds calmed down overnight, but there was very little impact because of that on the fires. The fires have still been moving. As of sunup this morning, the winds blowing eastbound have come up again. The humidity has also dropped, which is a big factor in the fire. When you have low humidity and winds, there is a very good possibility that the fire will spread uncontrollable. Now, they have got a lot of aircraft up spreading retardant and water over at the front line of the fire. They're doing everything they can do to prevent it from expanding, but it has expanded. Firefighters from other states have also moved into Texas, to the panhandle of Texas, to help out, and those firefighters are greatly appreciated. That goes, I don't want to say without saying, because we must thank them for their service. Each and every day they put their lives on the line, and they're greatly appreciated. But for right now, the fires are still spreading. Texas Governor Abbott is in the process of requesting an emergency declaration from Washington. That emergency declaration will be made as soon as all the financial figures are in, so the governor can tell the president all the financial issues that they face, preliminarily anyway, so that Washington will give him the money, give Texas state money, so they can deal with what's going on. There have been over 500 homes that have been destroyed. It has also been confirmed, like I said last night, that 2 people have been killed in the wildfires, one of them being that teacher that I spoke of last night. So we send our love, our tears, our prayers and condolences to their families. It's quite unfortunate that this happened. The other woman I hear was in her 80s, 86 years old or something like that. That's so very sad. Those women almost didn't even have a chance at all. Those things will be on our mind literally all weekend long. The fires aren't going to stop, okay? Not for a while. The fire danger continues all weekend long. With this low humidity and the high winds, it's not going to slow down, okay? Also, Producer Authentic is talking about a glancing blow from a CME that's coming. The glancing blow is from that east corner of the sun. It is in the northern east corner of the sun on the disk, and it had a blow from the solar disk out into space. That is going to have a glancing blow on the Earth. Now, it does not say that the Earth will not have anything going on. The plasma energy is going to hit a corner of the Earth. And that plasma energy, when it hits, is going to expand like this, out around the Earth. So we're probably going to have a geomagnetic storm. It's not going to be a huge geomagnetic storm, but there probably will be some kind of geomagnetic storm, so there will be auroras. Now, that plasma radiation hit the Earth today, March 2nd. So that's things going on. As a result of that geomagnetic storm and that glancing blow of plasma radiation hitting the Earth, there is a very good possibility of increased earthquake activity. I'm not going to try to put icing over it. It's true. There will be somewhat of an increase in seismic activity. That happens. Okay? But that's what's happening. Any other questions? There have been some earthquakes over in South America, for example. Most of those have been shallow. The earthquakes that are deep are tectonic plate earthquakes, meaning the plates are moving. The deep earthquakes are significant because that means plates are moving. The smaller and shallower earthquakes are a release of pressure when the plates are being pushed. Okay? The release of pressure on the earthquake faults. But the deeper earthquakes are a sign of tectonic plate movement. Now, when we have a very deep earthquake and it's a large earthquake, it's always tectonic. But if there's a deep earthquake and it's very large, there is going to be some chance of damage on the surface. But there would be even more damage if it was closer to the surface. We know that these smaller quakes that are deep release energy, and that energy is released out into the surface. And that creates or propagates a larger, more substantive, shallower quake. That's what's going on. Okay? Yeah, Bella says Fracklehoma. I don't like to laugh at that because those people have a lot going on over in Oklahoma. Every day, almost every day anyway, they face these shakers. And if you had earthquakes hitting under your feet all day long, and some of these earthquakes are just minor quakes, they can't be felt, but it's unnerving anyway, okay? You might not feel it, but you feel uneasy. You feel off. You feel like your equilibrium has been attacked. That's what's going on, okay? So I feel for those people there. Eventually, Mike is asking, how does that work? What specifically are you talking about, Mike? That's a good question. I want to answer it. I just want to give substantive answers. solar activity and tectonic activity. Okay, I've explained this before, but you might not have been around, and there are new people that have come into this chat. How that works is the solar plasma energy, it's radiation. We also have geomagnetic radiation coming from planetary alignments. All that radiation affects the tectonic plates. It also permeates down into the core of the Earth. Radiation heats up the plates and heats up the core. Okay? When it heats up the plates, and I'm just going to use either the Asian area of the Pacific or the Cascadia megathrust earthquake zone, subduction. Okay? It's holding all the plates in place. Dirt, grime, biological material is all there holding the plates in place. Sand, rock, plant material, and other things holding the plates in place. When that gunk and grime and biological material heats up, it turns into a slurry, oily, greasy type substance, which allows those plates to more freely move like this. That's what happens. Okay? All that plasma energy, that geomagnetic energy from the planetary alignments hits the plates and the core of the Earth, heating up the core of the Earth, heating up the plates, and allows those plates to more freely move because they become greasy at their contact points. Okay? That's what happens. That's a great question, Mike. I appreciate that question. Any other questions here? Yes, Bella is right. The plasma energy also goes over the poles and creates those northern and southern auroras that we see, and that's cool. The aurora watchers, as of late, haven't had much to see because there's been no geomagnetic storms as of late. But this will cause geomagnetic storms causing those auroras. You're welcome, Mike. I appreciate you being here. If you guys are not already subscribed, please do so. It's very important to support this channel also, to make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Over 25% of the people that watch this program are not subscribed. Make sure you subscribe, and when you do subscribe, there's a little bell icon. Click on that. That will get you notified when we come on the air. When you click on that little bell, there will be a drop-down menu of 3 items. Click on the word ALL. That should get you notified when we come on the air. Now, after a short while, the YouTube does not any longer notify you. I know that for a fact because they don't notify me of people that I watch on YouTube. So I have to unsubscribe, resubscribe, and re-hit that little bell and click all. That way I get notified again for a period of time. For those of you that have been unsubscribed, if you find your channel unsubscribed from ours, or your name unsubscribed from our channel, please resubscribe. YouTube unsubscribes probably 40 to 50 people a day. That's what YouTube does. So please check your subscriptions, make sure you're still subscribed to our channel, and also hit that notification bell. That's very important. Okay? The unsubscribe are mods. Don Patoka, sometimes twice a week, has to resubscribe to our channel. They take him down all the time. Blue Baron says, what's this channel about? Emergency Management Associates, if you read our program description. Emergency Management Associates is our primary objective is, one, to notify everyone about what's happening around the world. Earthquakes, natural disasters, man-made disasters, and also political things that affect our lives in a negative way. We want to make sure everyone has the information. Why? Because that way you have the information necessary to make decisions for your own lives, to help protect your lives of your family and your friends. It's very important that we're able to protect our family and our friends, and also to prepare for what's happening. Our secondary objective, and probably one of the most important actually, is to make sure people are prepared for whatever is happening. We tell people all the time to prepare. Prepare, prepare, prepare. We tell people to have an emergency preparedness plan, not just for earthquakes. Not just for earthquakes, but for everything across the board. Okay? It could be a tornado. It could be an earthquake. It could be a volcano erupting. It could be a very bad snowstorm or rainstorm like we've seen over in California recently. And California is not out of the woods yet. Okay? They're still getting heavy rain and snowfall up to 10 feet in the Sierra Mountains of California. Okay, that's incredible. They've had flooding. They've had houses about ready to slide down cliffs, landslides all over California. That storm in California is moving also east. So states to the east will also be affected by this rain. I want to make that perfectly clear. Okay? These major storms have been hitting California, and even the Pacific Northwest are not over. Winter's not over for probably another 30 to 40 days. Okay, so this is going to continue to happen. We need to be prepared for everything. Okay? We need to be prepared for everything. Now, please, folks, be careful. Be very careful. This is not going to stop for a while. Everyone needs to be prepared for everything. Okay? Everything, literally. It could be a tornado. It could be a hurricane. It could be straight line winds. Now, people don't understand what straight line winds are. I didn't totally understand it until I moved to Colorado. Straight line winds can come in from various areas when you least expect it. The jet stream can drop down to a lower latitude, lower altitude. When that jet stream drops down to the surface, straight line winds can come in. They can pick things up that are on the ground and toss them through your windows of your home. I have seen great big huge 2x4s jam through the wall of a house from the outside in. Huge 2x4s. If you're outside, you could be struck by any of the debris that the winds pick up. We had winds at one time in Denver on the ground at 115 miles an hour. That's not a joke. Okay? I've seen roofs blow off homes. I've seen it happen. Not just video, but I've actually seen it happen. Yes, I have seen video as well, but you never know. Okay? Straight line winds. These storms come in and cause flooding. We talk about flooding all the time. We talk about wildfires like we are presently having in Texas. And I can't forget to say that there's still a wildfire going over in southern Wyoming around Cheyenne, Wyoming. Traffic is still being diverted out of that area because of that fire. It's because of the winds and low humidity. Okay? Everybody needs to know about this. If you're out traveling, some people like to go up to Cheyenne for the weekend, for example. You can't go up northbound on Interstate I-25 to go to Cheyenne. You'll be diverted. Okay? Be very careful where you go. Check your highway patrol Department of Transportation offices and to see what's going on in your area before you travel. Be very careful. Storms, flooding, rain. Okay, we talk about that. We talked about the fire dangers. Okay, we talk about volcanoes all the time. Presently, there's about 45, 47 volcanoes either in the process of eruption or already erupting. Okay, we talk about it all the time. We talk about shootings. Okay, I don't like talking about it because I don't like giving the hellions any advertisement. That's what they want. But we talk about it. We talk about places to go to save your lives. Okay? We had a brief, I can't say even a brief, we spent one entire program about a year or so ago talking about sheltering in place in case you get accosted or there's a shooting in a shopping mall. What do you need to do? Shelter in place. How to save your own lives, okay? Or in an office building or whatever. We've talked about that. There's a lot of things we talk about. We want to make sure people have the information they need to take care of themselves and their family. This is important. That's why we talk about emergency preparedness. We talk about food storage. Why? Because if you have to shelter in place for any length of time, you need something to eat. A lot of families don't have any more than 1 or 2 or 3 days worth of food in their pantry. You need to have at least, and I'm talking at least, 6 months worth of food in your home. In your home, either in the pantry or a storage area in your home. Now, some people say, I don't have the room. Yeah, you do. You just don't think about it. You can hide food behind furniture, underneath beds, in your closet, on shelves, on the floor of your closets, underneath the stairs in the stairwell. There are places to store food. And when we're talking about food, we talk about water as well. You can't go more than 3 days without water. We talk about water storage. Go back, if you're worried about emergency preparedness stuff, go back through our programs, even the last year. We've been on this present channel over a year. On April 3rd, it'll be a year now. We got taken down off of YouTube a year ago from our last channel. We had been on that channel for 4 years. Okay? So we've been talking about it for a very long time. And no one is safe. Sweet Texas Tea says, no one is safe. You're absolutely right. Okay? That's why we talk about it. Demon Catman says, say safe until it isn't. Okay? Make sure you're doing everything you can to be safe. Okay? And we talk about safety. We talk about all kinds of things on this program. It's not just earthquakes. A lot of people say I get off topic from earthquakes. Yes, we do talk about earthquakes, but that's not the primary thing. It's not the primary theme that we do here. When we have a lot of earthquakes, we do talk about that. That is important. And we're going to see an increase in earthquakes every time we get a CME, a coronal mass ejection, like we got 3 days ago. Okay? That happens. We're presently in a solar maximum right now, meaning the sunspots on the sun are at their maximum potential for coronal mass ejections, solar eruptions from the solar disk. And that causes problems. Okay? Blue Baron is asking, what's a CME? It's a coronal mass ejection. Solar plasma from the sun being ejected out of the sun headed for Earth or headed for other planets. Okay? It's an ejection of plasma from the sun. And it can cause radio blackouts. Eventually, when it hits Earth, it can cause earthquakes. We have scientific instruments on Mars. Mars has earthquakes as a result of CMEs as well. We believe most planets do. Okay? The plasma radiation is just that. Okay? The plasma is ejected from the sun, and that's plasma radiation. Okay? Diane is asking, is solar flares causing earthquakes? Yes, it is. It most assuredly is. Now, Leah is saying, I have a major migraine today. Something is going on. I can feel it. A lot of people can feel it. Okay? This solar ejection, the CME that came from the sun 3 days ago, hit the earth today. It's a glancing blow. Okay? It's not as bad as if it had been a direct blow onto the earth. Yes, we have had CMEs from near the center of the sun. It could be either in the center off to the side one way or the other, but still in the front facing, earth facing side of the sun. Those direct hits on the earth are worse. Okay? Now, the last CME that we had was an X-class 6.3 solar flare. It was the strongest and worst solar flare than we've had in a very long time. It caused some satellites to be deorbited. Satellites deorbited from out in space. A Starlink satellite left orbit and plunged into the Pacific Ocean as a result of these X-class flares. It happens. Okay? They're the strongest flares and they can cause bodily injury. Okay? They can cause bodily injury. They can cause severe burns on our body. They can also cause our electrical lines to be fried. Okay? I believe it was back in 1856 when we had a coronal mass ejection. It caused an EMP, an electromagnetic pulse that electrocuted a telegraph radio operator. Okay? It electrocuted him. It sent electromagnetic radiation through the electrical lines, an oversurge of power, and it came through those electrical lines and fried the electrical lines and caused a telegraph operator to be burned. Okay? It's called a Carrington event. Carrington, a Carrington event. It can happen again. So far in our recent history, we have not had one since I believe it was 1856. Okay? But it could still happen. And it could happen during this solar maximum event that we're in. The solar cycles last 11 years. So once we get over the next, like I want to say 2026, 2027, the solar maximum will be waning out. We'll be on the other side of the solar maximum, and we should see the solar flares not dying out, but slowing down. The number of solar flares dying down. Okay? That's what happens. Okay? Please, folks, keep your comments here in the chat to what we're talking about. Richard Smith says another 4.4 hit in Alaska. We had another 5.0 hit Alaska today. 5.0 are large earthquakes. 4.4 are moderate earthquakes. Okay? They're moderate earthquakes. Now, USGS has been labeling 5.0 to 5.9 earthquakes moderate. They are not moderate by any stretch of the imagination. They're not moderate at all. Okay, I want to make that very clear. They're not moderate at all. They are large earthquakes, and large earthquakes cause damage. Now, yes, I don't like USGS. I haven't liked them for like 20 years now. Okay, we've seen this happen for a long, long time now. They don't notify people when there's earthquakes. You rarely see the number of earthquakes that actually happen on the USGS map. Now, back in 2019, we had a very strong earthquake in in Ridgecrest, California. It was at least a 7.1, and now researchers are saying it was an 8.0 over in Ridgecrest. It did a lot of damage. It did not, however, cause a ton of damage to homes and businesses. Yes, some homes and businesses were damaged, but none luckily happened because it struck in a rural area. That is a saving grace from that earthquake. It happened in a mostly rural area. But, okay, and this is a big but, USGS immediately downgraded it. There were actually two earthquakes. USGS took one of them down. Then they downgraded the other to 6.4 earthquake. Okay? They took one of the 7.1s down and downgraded the other. How dare they? And yet they still call that earthquake a 7.1 event, even though they downgraded it. Today they call it a 7.1 magnitude earthquake. They downgraded it. Now, why am I saying that they had two earthquakes? USGS denies it. Folks, when it came out, I recorded it. I went immediately and analyzed where the earthquakes were. Two separate locations. Two separate distinct locations. The USGS said there was only one. What a crapload of crap. Okay? There were two separate distinct 7.1 earthquakes. And now they're saying that it's probably a lot larger than that. Okay? That happens. That happens. And yet everybody looks up to this agency as like they're gods. They're not. Yes, men are fallible, but these people are purposely doing it. At the time of the Ridgecrest quakes, there were over 5,000 earthquakes radiating out away, north and south, east and west around that earthquake. There were probably several thousand foreshocks radiating all the way down into San Diego County. Not a joke, guys. There were thousands upon thousands of foreshocks. And then after the quake happened, there were thousands of aftershocks as well. USGS paraded out one of their researchers named Lucy Jones. Okay? A reporter that day asked Lucy Jones why they were not putting all of the earthquakes on the earthquake map. Lucy Jones immediately said, without even thinking, there's no room for them. There was no room for the earthquakes. There was. Lucy Jones was making an excuse for their BS. Okay? There was room on the map for all of the quakes. But Lucy Jones wanted everybody to believe there's no room for all the quakes on the map. That's a lie. Okay? Now, speaking of Lucy Jones, okay, she was recently featured in an article by one of the mainstream press. They interviewed her because she's gotten award after award after award as of late. She retired from the USGS, United States Geological Survey, years ago. She's been working for a coral group in Los Angeles, a specialized coral group in Los Angeles. She's been working on anti-climate music. People that say there's no climate change. She's been reacting to that and putting out music for people that don't believe there's climate change. That's what her whole philosophy now is to be an activist for climate change. Okay? She's putting out music and other information in support of the left-wing Democrat Communist Party. There is climate change, yes. There is no global warming, but the climate change is based on cyclical cycles. Cyclical cycles. It has nothing to do with the heating up of the earth. Okay? The sun does affect earthquakes on Earth, yes, but it's not climate change as Lucy Jones and the other Democrat communists are saying it is. Okay? Joseph Mangala, thanks for being here. Hope you have a wonderful day. Enjoy walking your dog and be safe. We love you, guy. We love everybody here. Okay? Yes, Bella is spot on. She's awesome. I've been a friend of Bella's and Rebecca's for a very long time. They're wonderful ladies. It's good to see Bella here. Any other questions for me? I didn't mean to have this presentation long and drawn out. Diane Myers says, you tell it, Ron. Oh, I will. I will always say that. Any other questions, guys? All I'm saying is Lucy Jones can't be trusted. Okay? And now I should also say that guy over in California, his name is Gavin Newsom, NWS.gov. Okay? Gavin Newsom promoted Lucy Jones to be the earthquake czar for California. Yes, Lucy Jones, as of late, has been doing research on how to make buildings safer in the Los Angeles area, retrofitting buildings, and that's fine, because retrofitting buildings in Los Angeles can also help in retrofitting other buildings throughout the country and throughout the world. And that's fine, okay? But to promote her to earthquake czar of the state of California, my gosh, guys, my gosh. I don't agree, okay? Let Lucy Jones go off into the Democrat climate change world and let us probably never see her again. That's fine. I'm not wishing her any harm, but Lucy Jones is a liar. Lucy Jones promoted the lying attitude of the United States Geological Survey. And I've caught them in so many lies and false information, or omitting information. That's the other thing they do, is omit information. It's gobbledygook. Okay? It's incredible. Jazzers One is asking, are we due? Yes, we are. Okay? I've talked already about earthquake watches in Southern California. I'm not going to take it down. Okay? Several other agencies, including private people, put up an earthquake watch several weeks ago for Southern California. We have not had a major earthquake since that point in time. However, there has been a seismic increase, meaning an increase in earthquakes and earthquake strength in Southern California. If I had my computer up like it should be, I could show you that increase. I hope to have another computer within the next 5 or 10 days at the most. I hope, with any luck. Cross my fingers. Some of you folks have come through on our PayPal to help promote us to get us a computer, and I appreciate that. I appreciate it very much. But we don't have enough money as of yet to do it. I'm probably going to have to put it on credit of some kind to be able to get a decent computer. And I probably knew that all along. But I still would like help doing it. Okay? I appreciate all that you've done, both the Super Chat and over on our PayPal, and letters and cards that you stuffed support in the middle of and sent it to our P.O. Box. We greatly appreciate that. Our P.O. Box is P.O. Box 422, Valdese, Valdesc, North Carolina. The zip code is 28690. We appreciate each and every one of you that have helped us. Okay? Now, producer Authentic says, each great whale sequesters 33 tons of CO2 on average, taking that carbon out of the atmosphere for centuries, each one of them. Now, the climate people, they've been putting out false narratives for quite some time, have been saying, oh, you Americans and other people are putting out tons of carbon dioxide. Folks, these climate people, these climate activists just held a meeting in Switzerland, in Davos, Switzerland. Their private jets put out more of a huge carbon footprint than any one of us could put out during our lifetimes. If they stopped flying into Davos several times a year to promote their agenda and to try to force us to live to their standard. Their standard is eliminating us. Their standard is making sure that we don't have enough food. Their standard is cutting back on oil production. Their standard is eliminating our way of life as we know it today. That's what those climate people have done. Okay? It's a terrible event. They don't know what they're talking about. Well, actually, they do in their own minds. But they couldn't give one hoot and holler about us. That's what they're doing. Okay? Because of what they're doing, there's going to be a food shortage. Farmers and ranchers in France and Spain that have been putting out food for Europe have cut back in a protest of their governments. And as a result, there's going to be a food shortage in Europe. There's going to be a food shortage here in America as well. The elite have cut back on the production of our food. They've cut back on the production of our animals. They have slaughtered animals last year like it was going out of style. Thousands upon tens of thousands of animals, chickens, goats, turkeys, cattle, hogs, all kinds of meat-producing animals have been slaughtered. And are we seeing any of that? No. They paid our own ranchers to kill off their crops, to kill off our animals, all because they made up a disease called the bird flu, saying, oh, this bird flu is going to happen and you need to kill off your flocks. And they did it. Okay? They killed off, the ranchers had to kill off thousands upon thousands of head of cattle and other animals. All because these people in Davos, Switzerland, told them to do it. Okay? Olivia says, then they put it all in their bunkers. Yes, they probably did that. Okay? They probably did that. Klaus Schwab, George Soros, and all of them. They did it. Okay? And yes, I can prove that they put it in bunkers. There's a huge bunker complex in Washington. There's a huge bunker complex in Missouri and several other places, including Denver. Okay? Draven Hayes is saying, where can I get some heirloom seeds? 4 Patriots Food has heirloom seeds, and I think Patriot Foods also has them. Okay? I think Patriots Food also has them. Okay? You can get heirloom seeds. You can. Now, other companies such as Walmart has seeds out there. Now, those seeds may be GMO modified. Okay? They might not be as good as other seeds. And GMO is really not that good, okay? But you still need to be prepared. You still need to be prepared. Some of these very rich people have been selling off the stock from their companies, including Walmart. The Walton family this past week or so has sold off most of the stock that they had in their own company. Walmart and Sam's Club. Okay, they're selling it off. They know and see what's going on. If those people see what's going on, we need to see it as well. Okay? Chris Matthews says, damn, brother, you on oxygen. Right now, I've got my oxygen in the other room. I'm fine. I feel fine. Everything's good. Okay? Sometimes it can be without oxygen if I'm sitting down just conversing, and that's what we're doing here. Okay? Yes, please, guys, do not use all caps. Please don't do that. YouTube looks at his line. And yes, YouTube has been on other broadcasts here in the chat room, and they actually have taken down people that have used all caps. They've taken down people's conversations if they don't like it. So please be careful with what you say. Our own mods will take down people that are either harassing them, harassing people in the chat, or harassing me, or using bad language or any other crap that's being put out. And yes, several of our mods have taken down people today. We have got a lot more trolls out here. And YouTube has gotten very strict. Chris Matthews is in the chat saying, yeah, YouTube has gotten so strict. They have. And one whom Jesus loves say they do it only to this channel. Yes, they do it to this channel and many others. I'll be honest with you, they do. I've seen it. They don't like me because I tell the truth. I tell the truth no matter what they say. That's just how I operate. That's me. I'm not going to change. I tell the truth until it hurts. It really hurts. Okay, I'm not going to change. That's what we do here. Do you guys have any other questions here? Rit, thank you very much. We appreciate that. No, other channels don't request, they use caps for questions. Okay? If you have a question, you can put a question mark at the beginning of your question, then another question mark at the end of it. That way, our mods can notify me if I don't see it, or if I see it, I can see that and I'll answer that question. I have no problem answering questions. Okay? You can use a capital at the beginning of your statement, whatever. That's normal English. But I just don't want caps every letter. Please don't do that. Okay? And yes, don't waste energy, don't waste water, don't waste electricity if you can all help it. Okay? There is going to be energy shortages. That's coming. Okay? That's what the elites want. Okay, Angel, we don't really care about that. That's not in keeping with what we're talking about. Please keep your conversations and your questions related to what we're talking about here. Chris Matthews says this, and I agree. This is what YouTube says to us. Caps equal you are screaming. So please don't do that. Okay? Please stay on topic. Do you guys have any questions for me? I'm happy to answer anything that you ask within reason here. Stay on topic, please. Richard Smith says, God bless the EMA family. Much love from Nova Scotia, everyone. Stay safe and stay prepared. Thank you very much, Richard. We love you and appreciate you, brother. God bless you much. Very much. Simple foods to store: beans, rice, wheat, oats. Simple foods that you can turn into food for yourself. You can crack wheat and make mush. You can crack wheat and smash wheat and make flour. Okay? You can make beans turn into anything that you could possibly even think of, including salads. Oatmeal. You can make flour out of oatmeal. You can make milk out of oatmeal. You can make all kinds of desserts and different foods out of oatmeal and wheat and flour. Okay? Honey never expires. Rice. You should probably have at least 50 pounds of rice in your food storage, as well as at least 50 pounds of flour and or wheat. Okay? And we told you how to store it. If you don't know how to store it, you get those 5-gallon plastic food storage containers. They must be food storage containers, otherwise don't buy them for food. Then put your food in a bag, okay? Then, if it's, for example, wheat or flour or oats, go and put a bay leaf, several bay leaves in throughout that bucket of flour, whatever it is. Bay leaves keep the weevils and other bugs down. You can also preserve those items with nitrogen put in your storage container, which will preserve those things for you. Okay? You can do all kinds of things, guys. Bella Virgo says, always double, if not triple wrap food. I keep something in plastic boxes. Absolutely. You can do that. Okay? Mylar plastic bags. You can use that. Mylar helps keep out the sun, or keep out the sunlight or the light, which also helps preserve the food. Okay? That helps. Any other questions? Thanks, Isaiah's granny, for helping out. We really appreciate it today. We only had Demon Catman and Heather in here. We appreciate all of you guys. We love all of our mods. We appreciate all of you. Any other questions, guys? Again, I'll reiterate what we said at the beginning. The earthquakes at Iceland have stopped. The dike intrusion of magma coming up through the crust of the earth has stopped. The dike was going over into the Svartsengi area where the Svartsengi power plant is, which is a geothermal power plant that takes steam from the volcano, turning it into electricity and turning it into hot water that provides hot water and electricity to all of Iceland. There's only one other power plant that is east of Reykjavik, the capital of Iceland. Those two power plants supply all of the power for the island. If Svartsengi was to be taken out, Iceland would not have the power or the hot water for the citizens of Iceland. Okay? So right now, the Svartsengi power plant is safe at this point in time. The magma intrusion is either slowed down or stopped. Okay? I explained what happened earlier. Okay? Also, you need to be advised that the magma has also moved north, away from the Svartsengi magma reservoir. Apparently, the magma has found another way out of that reservoir, going more horizontal than anything away from the reservoir. That happened before in the previous eruptions when the magma found its way north through some magma tunnels, and it erupted in various fissures up to 5 kilometers long. No, it's 10 kilometers long. I'm sorry, it's 10 kilometers long. Huge, huge fissure eruption in Iceland several times now. Okay? But anyway, the earthquakes have stopped for right now. So there is no imminent eruption at this point in time. They have allowed people back into Grindavik during the day, only during the day, residents. And I'm not saying anybody else, only residents into Grindavik, and then they have to leave before sundown. The Blue Lagoon Spa has also been evacuated. I don't believe they're going to allow that to be occupied anytime in the very near future. Okay? Now, the fissures that erupted before are still outgassing. Okay? You can see the fissures outgassing in videos. There's all sorts of videos all over the internet. The fissures are outgassing. Now, the lava there in the lava fields has hardened on the top. The outgassing means there's also fresh magma down, or not magma, I'm sorry, fresh lava out there underneath the lava. And if the hardened lava is not thick enough, anybody that would try to walk on it might find themselves up to knee deep in hot 2,000 degree lava. You don't want to do that. Stay out of the lava fields. Okay, stay out of the lava fields. Okay. Like I said, if you want to help support us, go to our PayPal locations. Right now, the program description is not underneath this video right now. It will be within about 5 or 10 minutes after this video. You can go to our PayPal and send us donations for our new computer so we can help pay for that. Okay? We'd appreciate that. And God bless you all. We appreciate all of your donations. We appreciate your love. We appreciate your comments here. Also, if you want to share any comments after the program, do so in the comments section beneath this program today. Also, please hit the like button. Make that like button go crazy. Hundreds and hundreds of likes. We'd appreciate that. That's one of the things that YouTube uses as an analytic factor that will tell YouTube that they should propagate this program, let other people see it. Now, I need to say this. Up until yesterday, we had 3,000 to 4,000 people that watched our programs. After I got off the program last night, YouTube said there was 343 people that seen our program. I went into the analytics and up to 1,670 people had seen this program. That's 3,000 people less than they've shown before. So they're again suppressing the numbers of people that see our program. So please, guys, make your wishes known. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button hard. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button before you leave today. Okay? We appreciate it. Thank you so much for all you do. God bless you. God be with you this day and always. We will see you tomorrow at 12 noon or just shortly after that with Come Follow Me, This Savior Says, our weekly Sunday school class that we do here at just after 12 noon Eastern Time every Sunday. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon. God be with you until we meet again. Thanks, everybody. God bless you.